Hello guys, this is Sid and welcome to DCS P-47D Wolfpack Campaign by Reflective Simulations. While you listen to the briefing, I'd like to welcome to this new campaign series. I'm gonna try to make one video of each. The briefing is quite extensive. You have an index if you want to jump ahead. The dogfights at 14 minutes 30 seconds. And I'll try to do a voiceover straight through it, through the campaign. I recorded it previously, edited, and I'm gonna do the voiceover now. I'm gonna select my checklist. I'm gonna put it in the right page pretty soon. Open the tank to the main tank, and turn on the naval lights. And by the way, this checklist is available on the user files download page. I'm gonna open the throttle a little bit, propeller to max, and I'm gonna parking brake is already applied. I'm gonna turn on the generator, it's on. And now I'm gonna unlock the primer pump. And I check the filters and so on. I'm gonna lock the primer pump, the primer a little bit. 4 primers for pumping is good enough. 4 times is good enough. 15 Celsius temperature or so, 19 Celsius or so. Now it's time to turn on the battery, turn on the magnets, the ignition, and checking back, everything's okay, pretty much set. Filters, and put the oil cooler in the cooler to neutral very soon. It's been there. Everything's neutral is good for the start. Channel D is the airbase. I'm gonna request a start.
Chevy 2-1, request startup. Chevy 2-1, clear
Ignition
for startup.
to on.
Wind 310 at 4 meters per second.
Energize engage the start reduce a tiny bit. Then energize it for 15 seconds.
Clear prop!
And engage. Open the mixture to reach. Cut release the starter. Now time to warm up.
One more thing, sir. Whenever you're not too busy shooting Messerschmitts and you find yourself bored up there, just switch to Channel B for Baker. I have a little surprise for you. Thank you, Sergeant. Will do.
My element leader is the Kilo, Hotel Victor Kilo, and it's quite interesting. I love the campaign, the first mission. So let's tax a little bit. They say to use F4 to simulate the crew chief on the wing, and it's a quite interesting vision. I never use it much to do the taxi, but I like this experiment. And we're gonna try to take off it close to the element leader, and I'll try to keep quite close to it during the mission. The paint job on the P-47 on these campaign are also amazing. Double check my takeoff checklist. Pretty much all set. All that I need is to lock again the tail. I could use a notch of flap. I did it, but it was good enough. I feel heavy. 15 degrees of flap is nice. Double check the checklist. Just the tail wheel has to be locked. Let's go for it. It's complicated to follow the AI. It is kind of jerky and quite unstable. Let's go for it. Watch the sides. Keep it up. Oops. Hey, crossing his trajectory. Let's go. Another 20 miles. Flaps. Good. Gear coming up. Closing canopy. And closing the cowl flaps. Landing gear red light extinguished. Time to retract the flaps. Double check it. It was up anyway. Now let's go for en route formation and to the rendezvous. It was quite reasonable to read the information. Sometimes have to use a lot of throttle and opening manifold, and selecting the external tank, the belly tank. Later on the mission, I have an event that the power was cut. I had to change the tank. It was quite interesting. I'm gonna show to you later on.
Airborne. Track line to Ashland, copy that. Proceed to the rendezvous point. The bomber should be on schedule. Roger.
Checking the minimum cruise. I'm gonna leave the route that we have to fly. I have a second monitor and I left open the high resolution map of the channel, and I love this configuration. It's channel, jug, and a campaign, Wolfpack, 56 group.
We're off the trek line. We're checking out now. Copy that.
I got the honor to meet one of the 56 pilots. It was Frank Clyde. It was a model convention, 1998 in Orlando. He was signing his pictures and well, let's listen music on Channel B. Nice, huh? As I was saying, on that convention, Frank Clyde was there. And he mounted 5 kills on the P-47. I even made his livery and the surveyable on the user 5's download as well. And he was together there with Franz Stigler.
Big Friends at 10 o'clock, 20,000. Okay, I'll give them a ring. Ashland aircraft, let's get in position.
Franz Stigler was that pilot that escorted the B-27. That was piloted by Captain Charlie Brown, and he was a quite nice fellow.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Well, mission is go. Look at those clouds. It's just one day after the new clouds. It's amazing. The effect is sensational, astonishing. I got the chance to fly formation in and out of the clouds like that on my job, and it's exactly like that. If you browse my channel there, you're gonna find a flight of A29 Super Tucanos in and out clouds. It came out nice. It's exactly like that. Exactly like that. I'm a little bit behind and late of the position I was supposed to be, but that's good enough. I don't know for you guys, but I use the track IR, and for me the new clouds and 2.7 became quite stable and really light, even better on frame rates. The only thing I deactivated here was the wake turbulence, but other than that, everything is almost maxed out. The clouds are in ultra. My computer is not that top notch. I have a 7700K. I have good memory, 64 gigs, and 2080, one of the first, and it runs smooth. For me, it's good enough. Of course, everything here in Brazil is way too complicated and way too expensive to buy, but we can make ends meet and eventually buy some good stuff to have some fun. Reflected did a pretty good job. I already flew some of his campaigns, and once I saw the Wolfpack campaign, it was an instantaneous buy for me. I knew something good would come out, and I just flew the first one, and this is amazing. I love it. Oh, I see contrails there.
Contrail, 10 o'clock level. Groundhog, blue leader here. Roger, I see them. Are they Jerry's? Keep an eye on them. It may be the enemy.
That's cool. Can you imagine how long those guys will fly? The P-47, sometimes 5-6 hours. My record time flying in a single engine airplane like that, 6 hours and 45 minutes. And I did not be I did not have to use the bottle or the gel bag, but it was quite good planning. It's interesting. Oh,
it looks like they're little friends.
you see the power coming out?
Yes, they are P-47s. They've come to relieve us.
What happened? Looks like I'm losing power. It's strange. Let's change the tank. You see, I'm trying to. Let's change the tank. Oh, rower back to life. Yeah, that was nice, huh? Nice effect. I'm getting back into position. You see the bombers on our clock low. I did not reduce the size of the formation, and came out good.
Roger that, Ashland.
Oh, it's complicated when the AI started to change the course. You have to pay attention not to lose sight of your element leader. Try to follow him.
Keep your eyes peeled for Cherry fighters.
You see, better pay attention. Oh, I was going to just to experiment the lever. I eventually dropped the belly tank. It was empty anyway, and I was supposed to drop it eventually. In fact, I just took a couple of minutes to bump into the enemy fighters, but was not supposed to drop it at that moment. It was my mistake.
Homestead, Red 3, bandits, 1 o'clock. They're passing right below us. Houston Red, flight attacking. Let's go, boys.
Drop tanks, follow the element leader. Fights on. As instructed by reflected, follow your leader as this glue. It's been a while since I flew the P-47. I love that plane, but looking. What I noticed, I did not check much on my 6 or our 6. Let's see. I see the enemy plane. We have the flight lead and element leader on his 6. I'm just gonna cover them, just in case they overshoot or something. They almost collided. Flight lead just went away. The element lead did not turn. I'm gonna turn into this guy. Guns in 5. Fire on. Canopy's gone. Very nice fire effect. First kill of the campaign. Look for the leader, he's there. I don't know if it be flight lead or element lead, but I'm gonna follow that guy. He's splitting ass and so am I. I saw something. Yeah, that's one of my friends. I don't know who.
Good kill.
Oh, I see a plane on the top of my canopy. Keep turning. Look at those clouds, man. Amazing. I see the enemy and I'm gonna cover the shooter. If he overshoots, I'm gonna shoot the guy. Oh, head to another P-47. Engage the weapon. I don't like to engage much weapon, but sometimes it's good to gain some terrain. Get in a good position. Guns in 30 seconds. Let's do that. Strikes on the right wing. More strikes. Strikes on the tail. A little bit on the tail. Looking good. He's smoking. Oh, those clouds. Keep falling. I see them. Guns in 10. Nice strikes. I clobber him. Oh, avoided the collision. His propellers stopped. Second kill of the campaign. I see 2 planes of my flight. I'm gonna follow them. Looking good. Another plane in there. I don't know who is it. What the hell is it? I don't know. Let's follow. Good thing on those.
Great shot. He's going down.
Nice thing on those missions is that you have the real report file, and you can read it. It's a kind of cheat, so you can expect it. What's coming on the mission, but I'd say it's nice. Reflected had a lot of trouble putting those things together, and they came out awesome.
There's another 190 coming in from the north.
Let's look for those guy. Looking. I should check my 6. more often. I see him. Yeah, I see him. Tally ho. I'm gonna open up the engine. Well, let's climb with this guy. I cut inside his turn. Guns in 15 seconds. Guns in 5. Nice. Look at this fire, man. Look at those sparkles. And he's gone. Third kill. Cool. I'm happy. I'm happy. It was kind of greedy for my part to get 3 kills on the mission. Not supposed to do that. There's another guy diving. I'm gonna follow my flight. And he's gonna crash. I see the guy crashing there. And he crashed. Nice.
I got him.
One thing that I left,
Red flight, join up.
and probably you guys still notice that, is the frame rate on the top right corner, so I have an idea what I'm seeing. And the other is that I recorded not straight through, but I used the shadow play to record 5 minutes because it's a very long mission.
Track 1 Wildcat, turn heading 110. This is Wildcat Leader, roger that. Turning 110.
The mission took me something like 1 hour 40 to complete, so I will not stream 1 hour 40 and do voiceovers. Be too tiresome, so I prefer to record the parts that I think it's interesting. Look at those clouds, quite nice, huh? Getting closer to the channel. Very close to Calais, to cross to Dover. Let's listen to music. Channel B, take it reflected. Nice music, huh? So I kept the formation too close to the base. I'm gonna try to land closer to my flight lead. Although it sounds like a good idea, it proved otherwise. And you're gonna see what happened. Oh my god, it was such a nice mission that botched on the end. Right in the end. Getting closer to the base.
Chevy 2-1, inbound.
Chevy 2-1, fly heading 230, Fort 10, QFE 29.56, runway 05, to pattern altitude.
I showed the base and elemental leader reduce. Now got back in formation. Let's try to configure the airplane together and try to land information. But the problem is that the flight model that the AI uses is quite different from the years of flight model, and eventually I got into trouble. But let's go for it. We're gonna see it. I'm not a perfect guy. Nobody is. It was a good mission though. And if you reach this point, man, you have such a patience. Thank you very much for watching. And if you are interested in the P-47s and liveries, I have a huge collection of liveries for the P-47, most of them Brazilians, over the 1st Brazilian Fighter Squadron, and one for Mr. Colonel Frank Clyde, the one I mentioned before. Came out good, and even got the opportunity to be selected with one of the Jambok Squadron liveries to be on the contest. I feel quite honored now to be part of the DCS history. Pretty cool. Not to mention the mosquito that I got in that contest. Thank you to Eagle Dynamics. Hoping the canopy is quite noisy. I'm gonna keep it open for a while, but it's noisy. I see him with his gear down, my gear is down. Trying to get closer. I think his canopy is closer. Yeah, it is. That approach, flying wing, proved that was a smarter move to land individually, and I think I'm gonna do so on the following mission, so I don't make the same mistake. See, it's quite hard to configure to stay on wing. I see his flap down, but the canopy was closed. Let me close it a little bit. It's a nice airplane, nice paint job. Look how stable it is on final. He's putting some more flaps out. Gonna open the canopy. And if he had kept that speed all the way down, would be no problem. The problem is that he chopped his engine, and we're gonna see what happen. Oh my god. What a waste. But I did not die. You see, getting close. You see, he chopped the power right away. How come? It's possible. I'm quite slow at this moment. 100 miles. Lost the side and try to avoid it. I'm gonna try to go around, and I'm below the MCA. I cannot add the power. You see, I cannot control much of the plane. I'm trying to add the power. Oh my god, I'm gonna crash landing. And I crash landing into the field. You see? How can you mess up such a good mission? But the good thing is that I did not die, and the airplane was repairable. So I'm gonna command it to repair. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Request repair.
What a botched landing. And it's repairing. I'd like to thank you guys for watching it. Thank you, Reflected, for such a nice campaign. I hope I can record some more. Thank you very much, guys. All the best.